Hello and welcome to IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. I'm Sunanda Jayasseelan. You're watching our very special Eye on Dubai coverage of the most innovative companies out of the Dubai market. Today, we're heading across to Hicks Gupta, a reporter on the ground. He's at the Arab Health Medical Expo, which is talking about the latest technological innovations and innovations coming out of that market. And we're talking all about the medical devices industry. Abhishek, it's over to you.
My name is Hicks Gupta, and we will be talking today to Mr. Rajiv Nath, who is the Managing Director of Hindustan Syringes and Medical Devices, and also the founder of Indian Association of Medical Equipment Devices. And also Mr. Siddharth Gupta, who is the Joint Managing Director of Hicks Thermometers, or Hicks as they go by their name, of course having started with their flagship product of thermometers out of Aligarh several decades ago. And here at Arab Health, what are you seeing? I mean, of course, business is booming. You see the crowds in a post-pandemic world. What's your general vibe of the place this time? You've been coming here every year almost for the last so many years.
Yes, Arab Health has really grown over the years. We've been selling into the UAE market and the whole of Middle East even before Arab Health was born. And when Arab Health started, it was just in 3-4 halls over here. And then over a period of time, the whole infrastructure here has grown tremendously. And now it's the second largest exhibition in the world after Medica in Messe Düsseldorf in Germany. And increasingly, it's no more focused on UAE or even the Middle East market, I would say. It's become a truly international show. And we have clientele coming in from, distributors coming in from the whole of Africa, whether East Africa or North Africa, or even from South Europe. So times have changed.
Absolutely. Now, Hicks as a company is making their debut at the Arab Health. I mean, you had to be here sooner than later. What's your first impression of this place?
It is very exciting. You know, I've been coming here as a visitor from last many years. So this was our first time that, we decided that we should participate and explore the possibilities of expanding our footprint beyond Indian subcontinent. And that's how, it brought us here. In that region, we have got over 4,000 distributors, and we are a household name in medical products. We thought that's a great, there's a big opportunity in establishing, brands outside market. Up till now, there are only few big brands in medical electronics worldwide. So I feel there's a great opportunity to put our brands on the global footprint.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mention you've been a legacy company, so to say. You've been doing business well known in India. You've been doing business for several decades now, having started out of Aligarh with thermometers as your flagship product. What took you so long to come to UAE? I mean, UAE has been the hub of medical innovations, of the medical market, so to speak. What took you so long? And do you feel that better late than never now that you're finally here, you've arrived?
As you correctly said, it's better late than never. We have been, we have been busy developing new products, new areas of business, but now we are ready with orthopedic product range, electronic product range. So, now we have got a big product basket. We have got over 100 products to exhibit and to cater to the needs.
Yeah. Rajiv, you of course, one of your flagship products is the Dispovan syringes. I mean, back in India, everybody knows that brand name. It's also, it's got a good brand recall in this part of the world as well. What's your next sort of target that you have for UAE specifically and the wider region?
Well, we always wanted to be moving from market leadership in India and the brand leadership in India also to have the establishment worldwide. And we've grown to become the third largest manufacturer for syringes and needles in the world. Also in this region, I would say in most of the countries in Middle East, whether UAE, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, our various products for the syringes, needles, or IV cannulas, or surgical blades. Typically, they would be the market leader, or number 2, or maximum number 3, a position over there. It's taken us many years to achieve that position. We owe it to the strong distributor support that we have over here, and the diligent working. Like for example, in UAE, we've got Saltam as our importer distributor. The grassroots working which the marketing team of Saltam has done is fantastic. Going clinic to clinic, hospital to hospital, like it's done in India, pharmacy to pharmacy, introducing our brand name over there, and then convincing people of the value that we bring in over there, and then seeking from them to switch over from the more entrenched brands from USA, Japan, or Germany, and then trying out the Indian brand. And it's a low volume but highly quality conscious market.
Yeah.
So we've had to earn our credibility inch by inch, and all the success comes from all the teamwork over there. We are very thankful to the nursing profession, the doctors in this region over here, who have been patronizing HMD's products in this region over here. And whether it is the GCC, which becomes a common market in terms of public healthcare all over Middle East, starting from Saudi Arabia, or it's UAE alone, with the private or government sector over here, it's definitely something very prestigious. So in terms of volume, one may think that it is minuscule compared to what you may be exporting to USA or to Europe. But the kind of pride that we feel of succeeding over here definitely is immense.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned how you've grown over the years. You mentioned the word inch by inch. That's how you've grown. And I think that is in a way symptomatic or symbolic of how the Indian medical equipment or devices market has grown. I mean, in 2025, many projections say that it might be $50 billion. Well, you did cast your aspersions. Realistically speaking, where do you see that market growing to? We're about 12 billion at the moment.
Currently we are at $11 to $12 billion in terms of institutional sales and retail sales. We expect that it will go up to about $25 billion realistically in the next 3 years time period. And if we can do by 2030, 50 billion, that will be really wonderful as a market size for growth. The difference from what HMD has done against other companies is, whether in UAE or Middle East or India, we've been working only on our own brand names. So other people normally would like to come in over here, make the product under the distributors or MNC's brand name, and use that to enter the market. In our case, we came with our own Indian brand name, and that's where we said, inch by inch, slowly we had to build our credibility as an Indian brand over here.
As far as exporting Indian-made products, of course, there's pride of place in it, but also in terms of number, where do you see?
Okay, so I would say we should be aiming at a minimum 15 to 20% compounded growth rate, CAGR, year on year. That's the bare minimum. And where does that confidence comes from is basically whether it's a Medica or Arab Health. The most common word I'm listening to is supply chain diversification.
Yeah.
People have been let down by their suppliers in China during the COVID disruptions time and again. Yeah. And in healthcare and medical, you cannot be short of medical products. Yeah. And that's where I would say India has become a dependable source to look at from terms of supply chain. And in terms of a branding, in terms of what they expect from India is, they expect affordability, they expect precision engineering, they expect fair business practices. So from IMED also, we encourage our manufacturers and members in terms of responsible manufacturing. We encourage them to seek international certification in terms of quality management systems and quality assurance, so regulatory approvals can be more easy. Now, the UAE market was one of the first countries in the region, along with Saudi Arabia, to bring in medical device regulations.
Yes.
This is helping the market to get more matured and more cleaned up.
Right.
So people only who are going to be compliant to regulatory norms will be able to play the market. So you'll be having less of the competition from fly-by-night operators, people coming in with brand names, getting it made or making for somebody else in that brand name. So that coming, going out kind of a thing is going to go away. the market is going to be seeing now more maturity. So you have Coca-Cola, Pepsi for a long time, few brand names. You don't have 20 brands of Cokes moving in a country over there. Over a period of time, I expect to see the same thing over here.
I'm going to take a quick break on that note. On the other side, we'll continue talking about the medical devices market globally as well as in India and in Dubai. Just stay tuned. Welcome back. You're with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow. Tonight, we're talking about the medical devices market in Dubai. Listen in.
How did you sort of start your digital and your footprints on the sands of time, as they say in this part of the world?
So when we first came to UAE, being an Emirates, we looked for distributors in Abu Dhabi, in Sharjah,
In
Dubai, and pretty much we tried to put one distributor in each place over there. For example, Dawn Pharmacy in Abu Dhabi, Saltam in Dubai and Sharjah area over here, and a couple of others. But a period of time, we allowed them to have that healthy competition of selling the HMD products. And then we motivated one of them to become, like I would say, the master distributor or the stocking point, so that the other distributors would not need to finance and get the goods from India. They could all get it from one source over here. So it'd be like an extension of HMD warehousing over here. We toyed with the idea of having HMD's own company and warehousing over here, but then we thought, let's keep it commercial. And with that, we gave the owners to Saltam, and we guided and trained their team in terms of marketing our various products and branding, like we do it in India. And the team was very enthusiastic. They were learning from us, and they were working like they're an extension of HMD. And I would say that worked very well. So even though the nurses and the doctors, many of them are from Indian origin, many of them are familiar with Hindustan Syringes and our brands over there.
They're the majority, yeah.
Yes. So I would say that was, to some level, a big help over there. And more so, especially in the other countries around over here. Now we have a status that anybody orders to our distributor over here in UAE, he can expect to get the goods within 24 hours. So there's never any product shortage. There's at least always 3 to 4 months inventory lying in ready warehouse. So even if there's a large government order, it's going to be serviced promptly within 24 hours over here. So with that kind of service backup in terms of supply chain dependability that's been created, there's a confidence between all the various clinics and the hospitals all over UAE on HMD brands.
What were the immediate sort of overhaul that you see that you saw in your industry at the peak of COVID, and how you fought back?
So during the peak of COVID, the demands were crazy. There was an extreme labor shortage. There was, everything was shut down. So during those times, our team was standing by. We were in the process of increasing our production capacity and supplying it to people. We were working day and night during those 2 years were very challenging, but I think those 2 years, really taught us many things. The power of the having a good team around you. And we had to upgrade the technology. We had to, import certain machines during those times to be able to service to the market. So I think it has done, really changed the way we operated, and now where we are.
And also your outlook for the future.
Definitely.
During COVID, you suddenly saw everyone producing masks, everyone producing sanitizers, everyone pretty much producing everything that they could. If you can give us sort of an overview of what happened in those times and how you sort of rose above them, and today you play the role of a mentor for those companies who probably have aspiration like yours and want to enter the market. Today you play the role of a mentor, a senior leader.
Thanks. So I would say COVID was a big black cloud for most professions, most industries.
Yes, no doubt.
Medical devices was a silver lining over there. One should not say to profit from people's misery, but the reality was that India was a backup supply chain source. And it was a roller coaster ride because initially when lockdown happened, owners came on companies like us with more than 70% market share in India for disposable syringes and needles to keep the factories humming. We never shut down even for 1 hour, 1 day.
Incredible.
Why? Because we had a very strong vertically integrated supply chain. We hardly had 1,200 manufacturers making medical devices in the country. This went up to more than 1,800 companies and more than 2,500 plants running in India. It's come down by another 300 now post-COVID because the demand fell down. Like I mentioned, it's a roller coaster ride. But we hope that they'll be motivated to stay on, not only for the Indian market, for the global market. So we need to be training ourselves to be globally competitive. We worked with the Ministry of Commerce in seeing that which HS codes are the ones India needs to focus upon. So where it can be win-win for UAE, it can be win-win for India also. So you can see that the percentage of exports from India to UAE is growing up
Is
more rapidly.
increasing, of course, yes.
So one is
in
demographics.
fact, we were going to
because-
talk about the
yeah.
growth story.
So one is the issue of you have got now more people coming to UAE and living over here.
Yes.
The local population is increasing once again over here. Real estate is again booming over here. Consumption and local demand is increasing over here. So the local consumption is something I think which is more important for manufacturers like us in India, not for as a springboard for exports. So the goods coming in over here and then re-exported to Kenya or Uganda, that's not what we're chasing.
Yes.
Local consumption is what we're chasing over here. And in that respect, I would think that both the Indian market as a demand per se and the UAE and the Middle East market is something that we are going to see a very positive growth story over there.
Right.
And as India is a major player over there.
As far as India's export to the rest of the world is concerned, we talked about the figures 2.9 billion, around just under 3 billion, and it is one of the top 20 exporters of medical equipment. What's contributed to the growth? How has COVID contributed? You've already explained, but what do you see in the future contributing now that COVID is behind us? And how do you see this?
We aspire for India to be one of the top 5 manufacturing hubs for medical devices in the world. We want for each of the major product lines that India should be the preferred top 3 supply sources in the world, and it's already being achieved for many product lines. I'll give you examples. So India is the top 5 or top 10, top 5 definitely for syringes, needles, surgical blades, IV cannulas, surgical gloves, intraocular lens, orthopedic trauma implants, screws and plates, stuff like that, and hydrocephalus shunts. We already achieved that, I would say, positioning over there. And as the government of India has come forward with the PLI scheme, driving in investments, bringing in medical device parks in various parts of the country over there, you'll find in more and more investors, both from within India, who are from the non-medical line, looking at medical device manufacturing in the country, as well as overseas manufacturers not coming to India only for the market access, but also for the competitiveness advantage and to make products in India as a springboard for the world market over there. So from being an 80% import-dependent country, imports which are at 63,000 crore rupees went up by a steep 41% last year. One-third of that comes from China and USA alone. I think the story is going to change. We're going to be reversing it.
And how soon do you see that happening?
I think the process is already on. The government is in the process of coming out with the medical device policy. The Parliament of India has announced very strong recommendations. The Medical Device Export Promotion Council is being created. Medical Device Promotion Council already is there. A lot of institutions to support medical device R&D, etc., already in play over there. The ecosystem is evolving very rapidly for the better.
But what have you done as a company to sort of reinvent yourself, like he said, because the market is only opening up and you're going to be more export heavy than import heavy over the next few years. How have you factored those in?
So in the last 4 to 5 years, we have been diversifying and creating manufacturing facility for products like ortho support, rehabilitation support, masks. We have started blood pressure monitors, and so now with all these products coming in and government decentralizing it and bringing it under new licensing policy, I think organized players have will have a better market penetration because we have already
A fair play.
Fair play.
Well, on that note, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me in this conversation. Hope to see more of you in the future, and hopefully around this time next year at the Arab Health again, and upwards and onwards, as they say. Thank you once again for talking to us.
Thank you.
Out of time on tonight's conversation. If you have any feedback for us, do let us know. Our details on your screens as we speak. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.